All right, so this is a video to show how to do experiment 20 for chemistry 151 at Crafton Hills using Beyond Labz. I'm going to go over how to use the different items in the inorganic chemistry lab. If you've never used this, this can be very frustrating, and so I'm making this video to make this experiment less frustrating. I get to handle all the frustration, so you guys don't have to. And so I figured this thing out. Okay, so first thing you do is you get yourself a test tube, and so you mouse over the white test tube box, drag it over to the stand until it clicks, and there we go. And you can see everything has lit up on the shelf. You've got all kinds of choices of what metal ion solution you would like. So you're going to choose for part 1 3 ions. You're going to choose silver, and you're going to choose mercury 1, which is a polyatomic ion, Hg2 2+. That's mercury with a +1 charge, and there's 2 of them stuck together to make a polyatomic ion. And then the third one is lead. So there's lead. And so when you look, this is what you're going to be looking at to look at record all your observations. Beyond Labz tells you exactly what's in your test tube, and it gives you a picture of what it all looks like. And currently we have a clear solution because we haven't done anything to it yet. So I'm going to walk through how to use these different things that you need to use to conduct the experiment. So the first thing you want to do is click the sodium chloride reagent bottle, and this is this dropper bottle right here. All you have to do is click on it. You don't have to do any drag and dropping. You just click. And hello, you've got all this white solid in here. And see how below it tells you everything present in your test tube. You have solid silver chloride, solid mercury 1 chloride, solid lead 2 chloride, and you have sodium ions hanging out in the liquid. Okay, so this tells you everything that's in here. All right, and this picture on the upper left shows you what it would look like. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is centrifuge this thing so that all the solids will appear at the bottom and we'll have clear liquid above. So to do this, all you have to do is click the centrifuge. Bam, that's it. And see, just like that, all your white solids are at the bottom and you have clear liquid sitting on top of it. All right? Because all 3 ions are forming solids here and they all look the same. So now we have to figure out how each one behaves under different circumstances. So now what we're going to do is turn on the heat. So all you have to do is click on the hot plate, and the hot plate appears above, below your test tube. And look what happened. The lead 2 chloride is gone, and now you have lead 2 ions again in your solution. That's because when you warm it up, lead 2 chloride becomes soluble in water. So now you've just separated out one of your ions. Now you have 2 ionic compounds as solids and 1 lead ion in solution. You also have your silver ion hanging as sodium ion hanging around from earlier. So with the heat turned on still, we're going to centrifuge again. So click. And then we decant. So we drag this thing over here until we see it highlight the word decant. And we watch it pour. And then it just pops back onto the stand after we decant. Okay, so now when we stick this thing over here. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, so so now that this thing is in the test tube rack, it has cooled down, and so the lead 2 chloride solid has reformed in the test tube. So if you mouse over this, it tells you what's in there. Mouse over the one on the stand, it tells you what's in there. All right, so now we've separated the lead from the other 2 ions. So now we're going to turn off the heat. So we just click on this over here, and the hot plate goes away. And now our solution has cooled. So the next thing we do is add some ammonia. And the ammonia will complex with the silver, and will make the silver soluble in water. So we just click on the ammonia right here, just go click. And now look at what we see. The silver has complexed with the ammonia, and it's an ion in solution. It's not part of a solid. And we've made silver chloride as a solid, black solid with mercury in it. So now we've separated out the other 2 ions. One's a solid, one is still in solution. So to separate our two ions, we're going to centrifuge. So click the centrifuge, bam, and see all the black solids at the bottom. That's your ammonia. Your silver is still in solution. Okay? So now we're going to decant again and get rid of, oops, over here, and we decant again. Okay, and then we put this over here on the stand. Okay, so now this clear test tube on the stand has ammonia only, and this guy has our mercury. Stick this guy over here. Don't want him anymore. So now we're going to go ahead and precipitate out our silver that's currently complexed with the ammonia. Now to uncomplex it from the ammonia, we make it acidic. That will cause the ammonia to leave the complex, and then we'll make our silver chloride again. So all we need to do is click on the pH 4 bottle right here, just click, and now we've made the white solid. Now we've got lots of ammonium ion in solution, and our silver has become silver chloride. Okay, so that's how all this stuff works. And so now you've seen how to separate out these three ions. Okay, so now you've got a handle on how to work everything. I need to show you one more thing, how to create an unknown. All right, so we're going to clear the lab and create an unknown for the next part of the experiment. So to do that, just mouse over the red bin over here, and when it says clear lab, you just click and everything goes away. All right, so now we can make a practice unknown, and the way you do that is you click on the unknowns here, mouse over the unknowns, and you'll see the words create practice unknown. Click on that. And then we're going to click on our three same metals again, the silver, the mercury 2 plus, and we're going to click on the lead. And we want the minimum to be 0 and the maximum to be 3, because we don't want to know what's in there, but it's going to be any combination of those three or maybe nothing. And then we click create unknown at the top here. Bam. And there it is. It's sitting in our little test tube over here on the right. That's how you make a practice unknown. And then you just drag it over to your stand, and then you can do all kinds of stuff with it. All right, so that's how you create a practice unknown. And then for part 2, you're going to work with different ions and figure out how you're going to separate them. And watch your solubility rules and figure out how you're going to do it. You have all this stuff available to you. You have the nitric acid, you have hydrogen peroxide, ammonia, sodium sulfide, sodium sulfate, sodium chloride. You have all the kinds of stuff at your disposal. pH 4 if you want an acidic solution, pH 7 if you want a neutral solution, pH 10 if you want a basic. You can add sodium hydroxide or sodium carbonate. All kinds of stuff you can do here. Okay, you can even mouse over the nose and smell something. Oops, sorry about that. That was weird. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all you need to see. Now that's how you work everything that you need for this lab.